Well, hello everybody. We are about to make a very, very delicious meal. We gonna make a homemade chicken pot pie. All the ones that follow me on Snap, I know y'all been waiting on this moment. So I'm about to show y'all how to make it a homemade way. No antibiotics or preservatives nowhere, goddammit. So anyway, we're gonna start off with the carrots, a celery, and our broccoli. So these are the vegetables that I choose to put in my chicken pot pie. So I'm gonna cut my broccoli up, not too small, but you don't want it too big either. Relatively just normal size, about as normal you when you go on a Longhorn or something or Texas Roadhouse and they make the broccoli. All right, so you cut your carrots up, about a ½ inch thick, quarter of an inch, not too thin, anything like that, because once you boil them, they'll disintegrate. And then we'll cut our celery up, cut it kind of thick. The main reason why is because when you boil it, you don't want it to disintegrate because it's already going to kind of disintegrate once we start putting it in the pie. So I use probably about half of some chicken broth. You use chicken stock if you want to, but chicken broth has a little bit more flavor to it. And you want to boil it till it's almost done. Don't boil it till it's done because it's going to evaporate. It's going to disintegrate and you ain't going to have shit but just vegetable water. It's all you're going to have, some chicken vegetable juice. Anyway, while that's cooking, I went ahead and decided that I'll go ahead and get the bottom part of the pie done. So usually I like to roll it out with like a wine glass or a bottle. If you don't have a roller because, you never remember to get it when you go to Dollar Tree, just use a very hard cup or a wine bottle that you got laying around up under the cabinet. The one that's back there from that one wine you said you're going to get again, but you never decided to get it again. So you might as well just go ahead and get that one out and roll the dough out. Then we'll get, the cooking spray, of course, make sure it don't get stuck. And you want to go ahead and just put that dough in the bottom of it. And we're going to let it cook at about 410. And you just want to cook it till it's done. It usually takes about 10 minutes for it to brown, maybe, right at 12. But just keep watching it. Whenever it gets brown, just go ahead and take it out. All right, so next we're going to go ahead and get the top part of it ready. So I got the biscuit there. Oh, made a little mistake there. We got the biscuit there. And we got a little bit more than what we would use for the bottom. So same thing, get your wine bottle, press it out. And we'll just kind of leave this one out. You can put it in the refrigerator, which I actually would suggest to do because you'll see when I start using it, it's going to be a mess. But anyway, we go ahead and put the cheese on it, spread it out on there and, pat it and stuff. Get it on there real good. Like, pat on it like you care about it, right? Just pat on it, touch on it a little bit. All right, bet. Set that to the side. Now, our vegetables are pretty much done. You see, ain't nothing disintegrated. It ain't turned to mush. So we put a little heavy cream in there. The reason for it, because that's going to make the color. That's going to actually be a little bit of your thickener as well. So go ahead and put about, I don't know, that's like about 4 tablespoons to me. And then we're going to use a flour. Now the flour, of course, I'm not measuring anything, but you just keep going to the right amount of thickness that you desire. Most of the time you want a pie with some type of consistency to it. So of course, just keep adding flour till it gets thick. Ain't got no clumps in there, nothing. It's just perfect. Now you see how the broccoli kind of disintegrates a little bit? That's why I say don't cook it till it gets done. Because it will start to kind of, break away and stuff. But it still looks good. Okay, we got us some free-range chicken breast because y'all know me. I keep complaining about the meat industry. I had to make sure that chicken was walking around and knew his mama before, I decided to eat him. Anyway, I like to cut the tendons out of my chicken. It's not a big deal, but I'm just picky like that. All right, so we got our breast, we got the tendons out. Now we just cut it up. So you just cut it up how you want to, of course, cut it up in chunks. I wouldn't suggest you to cut it too small. I mean, it's not, the way I cook it, it's not going to get any smaller because, you have to cook it first. But, just make sure it's a chicken pot pie. Okay. Olive oil in your skillet. Go ahead and, start simmering the chicken. And now, if you got a date coming by, I would say make a smaller version of this. If you try to make one of these pies as big as I'm making it, I'm telling you, your date, when they come over, don't be trying to hit from the back, because it ain't going to be nice. They're going to be so full, and this thing, it's going to sound like a tire deflating in that bitch. Now, that's probably the best season. So that's like an all-purpose season. Kind of similar to Italian season. Either one of them can work. I mean, you can season chicken the way you want to, but I would suggest using Italian season or something like that. Ooh, the biscuit done. Okay, bet. All right, but yeah, you use like a all-purpose season. Make sure the chicken is done. Then you bring your vegetables back, and then you just simply just put the chicken in there and just stir it around in there. Just make sure you get the flavor in there. Like I said, don't go too hard in there because you're gonna tear the broccoli up, because that's the most sensitive thing. And you ain't gonna have shit. So now you just go ahead and just pull that up in there. Just spread it in there real good. Yeah, that's right, baby. Just spread it real good. Okay, so you're gonna spread it around in there. And for this case, you see how we had a little bit left. So you can store it if you want to. And if you want to make a pie later on that day, I mean, of course, you just put it in the refrigerator. And you can store it, put it in the freezer, I would suggest. And you'll have some for later. So in case you want to make another pie, there you go. All right, so we got a biscuit there, and here's the tough part. So I had to get in a fight with this goddamn dough, so I had to do a lot of cuts and edits because it took, I think, like 4 or 5 minutes of me fighting this thing. Anyway, basically, I summed it down to this. Making a pot pie is one of those, somewhat fun things, you could do with the kids or whatever, just for the simple fact that it's messy. And I tried my very best to sit there and, be clean to do it because I'm recording it. But I'm telling you, the dough, put it in the refrigerator because you will be fighting it. It's a headache. I don't want to do it no more. I was like, this pie. I was ready to be done. All right, so now we put it in the oven. Same thing, you want your oven at 415, 420 at the highest. And we'll let it sit in there until it brown. I don't have a time limit for it. I think it might have been about 14 minutes or so. But just cut it right at, whenever it turns brown. You can look in there. It's a biscuit. It's a biscuit. Just look at it. I was scared I was going to get burnt, so, I used a spoon to just kind of rake it over that to me. Ooh, that be sexy, that boy. Ooh, look at. I want y'all to look at that. Look at it. Look how the cheese is crackle on. And the cheese make it taste like a cheddar baked biscuit if it was a pot pie. I want y'all to listen to something though. Listen. Fellas, I know that pie got your girl and the cactus on her nightstand wet. Don't you hear that? That is golden brown perfection. Ooh, look at it on the spoon, Lord Jesus. Have mercy, Lord. Look at that is golden brown perfection. It's like a cheddar baked biscuit, but a pie. KFC ain't got shit on me. Listen to the real voice over me eating the pie. Oh my God. Ooh, I'm gonna marry myself. Oh, shit. Oh, that's good, huh?